Chosen one, before you listen any further, pause for a moment. What you are about to hear is not motivational language, and it is not imagination at work. This message is a spiritual confirmation. Because when God repeatedly shows you something in your mind, it is not to excite you, and it is not to tease you. It is to prepare you. Heaven never reveals what it has no intention of entrusting. There is a reason certain images, ideas, and visions have followed you through seasons of pressure, delay, and pruning. You did not create them. You did not chase them. They appeared while you were being refined, corrected, and strengthened in private. That is how kingdom wealth begins. Not with money in your hand, but with responsibility forming in your spirit. This is why the weight has been heavy. This is why your patience has been tested. This is why distractions were removed and comfort was stripped away. God does not release provision to desire. He releases it to identity. And what you have been becoming is far more important than what you have been waiting for. If this message is resonating deeply, quietly, align yourself. Subscribe if you haven't. And as an act of agreement, comment 777 below. What you can now see clearly is approaching its appointed time. There is a reason this message is meeting you now in this exact season with this exact weight. What you have been seeing in your mind has not been random, and it has not been self-generated. You did not sit down one day and decide to imagine a bigger life, a different level, or a future that feels heavier than your current reality. Those pictures came to you quietly, often when you were tired, overwhelmed, or stripped of certainty. And that is how you know they did not originate from ego. Heaven does not reveal future responsibility to entertain you. It reveals it to prepare you. Chosen one. There are seasons when God speaks loudly through silence. You expected instructions, doors, or immediate relief, but instead you were given images, glimpses, moments where you could almost feel what was coming, yet nothing around you seemed to support it. That tension was not cruelty, it was calibration. When God intends to entrust someone with influence, provision, or generational impact, He first allows their inner world to stretch beyond their external conditions. What you can now see clearly in your spirit is evidence that your capacity is being expanded, not that you are behind. I remember a season in my own life where I was doing everything right on the surface, yet nothing seemed to move. Bills were tight, opportunities stalled, and answers felt delayed. But during that time, my inner vision became sharper, not weaker. I could see solutions before resources, outcomes before access, and alignment before confirmation. At first, it felt frustrating, almost cruel. But later I understood that God was training my sight before He changed my surroundings. Because what good is provision if your perception cannot steward it, anointed one? This is why your life has felt heavier than those around you. You are not carrying more because you are weaker. You are carrying more because you are being trusted with more. Heaven does not measure readiness by excitement, but by restraint. It does not release wealth to urgency, but to maturity. Many people ask God for overflow, but few are willing to endure the season where nothing moves except their character. That season is where true authority is formed. There have been moments when you questioned yourself, wondering if you were imagining things, if you were reaching too far, or hoping for something unrealistic. But the very fact that you doubted yourself is proof that this was not born from arrogance. Ego rushes. Calling waits, desire demands, assignment matures in silence. And what has been forming in you has taken time because it needed depth, not speed. Chosen one, let me say this clearly, God never shows you what He has no intention of releasing. But He also never releases what would destroy you if given too early. The delay you resented was not punishment, it was protection. There are doors you wanted opened years ago that would have crushed you under their weight if they had opened then. You were still thinking like someone trying to receive, not someone prepared to steward. I've seen people receive sudden money, sudden favor, sudden access, only to lose it because their inner life could not support their outer blessing. That is why God works differently with the chosen. He builds the container before he pours the oil. He stabilizes the soul before he expands the territory. And yes, it feels lonely. Yes, it feels unfair at times. But nothing about this process is accidental. There is a spiritual law at work here. What heaven assigns it also protects until the appointed time. That is why certain connections did not last. That is why distractions lost their appeal. That is why comfort became uncomfortable. You were not being deprived. You were being refined. Every layer stripped away was making room for something weightier to rest on you without corrupting you. Chosen one, notice how your thinking has changed. You no longer crave applause the way you once did. You are less impressed by surface-level success. You feel an internal resistance to shortcuts that others run toward. That is not you becoming boring or cautious. That is discernment awakening. God was shifting your appetite before shifting your income, because wealth without discernment is a trap, not a blessing. I want you to think back to the moments when you felt the strongest inner confirmation, even though nothing around you validated it. Those moments were not emotional highs. They were quiet recognitions, a knowing, a steadiness. That is how heaven confirms things. Loud voices demand attention. God speaks to alignment. And when something is truly from him, it does not agitate your spirit. It anchors it. Anointed one, you are not waiting because heaven forgot you. You are waiting because heaven is aligning multiple timelines at once. Yours, others, resources, people, opportunities, systems. What is coming to you cannot arrive in pieces. It must arrive whole. That is why the process has felt slow. God does not rush completeness. I've learned through experience that the most dangerous thing is not delay, but premature arrival. I once stepped into something before my inner life had fully caught up, and I paid for it with exhaustion, confusion, and loss of peace. God, in his mercy, later slowed me down, rebuilt me, and only then reintroduced the same opportunity in a way that sustained me instead of draining me. That taught me that timing is not about readiness to receive, but readiness to remain. Chosen one. What you are about to step into will not require you to strive the way you once did. It will require alignment, not force. You are moving into a season where things begin to respond to who you have become, not how hard you push. This is the difference between survival and stewardship. Survival asks, how do I get through this? Stewardship asks, how do I carry this well? If your spirit has felt tired, it is because you are nearing transition, not burnout. Before God elevates someone, he often allows them to feel the weight of where they are, so they will never romanticize it again. You are being taught to value rest, clarity, and obedience over hustle and noise. These are the currencies of the next level. Chosen one, stay here for a moment. Breathe. Let go of the need to understand everything. What you can see in your mind is not ahead of you. It is waiting for you to fully align with it. And alignment is not something you rush. It is something you surrender into. What you are experiencing right now is not confusion. It is convergence. There is a difference. Confusion scatters the mind and drains the spirit. Convergence, however, brings a strange stillness, even when nothing looks settled yet. That stillness you've been feeling beneath the pressure is the sign that heaven is closing gaps you cannot see. Things that once felt out of reach are quietly being pulled into alignment, not by your effort, but by divine order. Chosen one. This is why your old strategies no longer work. You tried to push, to plan, to force clarity, but every time you did something resisted you. Not because you were wrong, but because the season changed. God does not allow yesterday's tools to build tomorrow's assignment. When a shift is near, familiar methods lose their effectiveness. This is not failure, it is instruction. There was a time when hustle produced results for you. There was a time when staying busy kept fear away. But now, the more you try to control outcomes, the heavier your spirit feels. That heaviness is not condemnation. It is heaven signaling that this next level cannot be entered through striving. What is coming requires you to move differently, think differently, and trust more deeply than before. I remember the moment I realized that effort was no longer the key. I was exhausted doing all the right things, yet nothing moved. It felt like walking through mud while others seemed to run on pavement. Then one day, in a quiet moment, it became clear that God was not asking me to do more. He was asking me to release control. The breakthrough didn't come when I worked harder. It came when I stopped trying to carry what was never meant to rest on my shoulders. Anointed One. This is the tension you are in now. The old way no longer produces peace, and the new way has not fully revealed itself yet. That in-between space is holy. Scripture often speaks of waiting not as inactivity, but as positioning. You are being repositioned internally so that when the external shift occurs, you do not panic, rush, or mismanage what arrives. Notice how your discernment has sharpened. You can feel when something is off before it fully shows itself. Conversations that once energized you now feel draining. Opportunities that look good on paper no longer excite your spirit. This is not you becoming difficult. This is you becoming aligned. When God prepares someone for increase, He first tunes their sensitivity so they can recognize what belongs and what does not. There are things you could pursue right now that would bring temporary relief but permanent misalignment. And because heaven is invested in your long-term assignment, those options feel blocked. This is grace, even if it feels restrictive. God would rather frustrate your flesh than fracture your future. Chosen one, hear this carefully. Not every open door is a divine door. In seasons of transition, counterfeit opportunities often appear to test your discernment. They offer speed without substance, access without alignment, gain without stewardship. They appeal to impatience. But the spirit within you resists them even when your circumstances tempt you to say yes. That resistance is protection. I have seen people take shortcuts out of desperation only to spend years recovering what they lost in haste. I've also seen what happens when someone waits, even when waiting feels costly. When the right door opens, it does not come with confusion. It comes with peace. It may still challenge you, but it will not violate your spirit. That is how you will recognize what is truly from God. There is also something else happening beneath the surface. Your relationship with time is changing. You are no longer as rushed, even though you feel the urgency. This seems contradictory, but it is intentional. Urgency without anxiety is a sign of divine timing. Anxiety rushes. Faith moves steadily. You are being taught to walk with purpose, not panic. Anointed One. The reason heaven is taking such care with your preparation is because what is coming will not only affect you, it will affect others connected to you. Wealth in the kingdom is never isolated. It flows through people to accomplish purposes larger than any one individual. That is why God examines motives so closely, not to disqualify you, but to ensure purity of flow. Ask yourself honestly, if everything you've seen in your mind arrived today, would it flow through you or stop at you? This is not a question meant to shame you. It is a question meant to refine you. God already knows the answer. He is shaping you until the answer aligns with His intention. There were moments when you felt overlooked, even invisible. But invisibility is often the training ground for stewardship. When no one is watching, motives are revealed. When applause is absent, obedience becomes pure. You learned how to show up without validation, how to stay faithful without recognition, how to keep your heart soft when nothing seemed to reward you for it. Those lessons cannot be taught in public success. Chosen one. This is why your elevation will not be fragile. It will be rooted. Many people rise quickly and fall just as fast because their inner life was never fortified. Your rise will feel different. It will feel steady, quiet at first, almost anticlimactic, but it will endure. You may have wondered why God allowed you to feel the weight of lack even while carrying vision. It was not to discourage you, it was to teach you compassion. Those who have never known pressure often mishandle power. Those who have walked through need tend to steward abundance with humility. Your past struggles are not liabilities, they are safeguards. I have learned that the people who manage wealth best are not the ones who chased it hardest, but the ones who learned to listen deeply. They know when to move and when to wait. They understand that not every season is for expansion. Some seasons are for consolidation, rest, and recalibration. You are coming out of one of those seasons now. Anointed One, Heaven is not asking you to prove anything. It is asking you to stay surrendered. You do not need to announce your calling or defend your delay. What is assigned to you will locate you at the right time. You cannot miss what God has secured. Stay attentive to the small instructions, the subtle nudges, the quiet redirections. Often the biggest shifts are preceded by simple acts of obedience that seem insignificant at the time. A conversation you didn't want to have, a habit you felt prompted to change, a place you felt drawn to revisit or leave behind. These are not random, they are pieces of a larger alignment. Chosen one, as you continue forward, resist the urge to measure your progress by visible outcomes alone. Some of the most important work is happening where no metrics can track it. Your spirit is being stabilized. Your discernment is being sharpened. Your capacity is being expanded. And when the moment comes for what you've seen in your mind to appear in your hands, you will recognize it not by surprise, but by readiness. Remain here. Stay present. Stay yielded. You are closer than you think, not because you are rushing toward something, but because everything is quietly moving toward you. There comes a moment when heaven begins to treat you differently, even though nothing outward has changed yet. This is that moment. You can feel it in the way your spirit responds to pressure now. What once caused panic now produces clarity. What once made you reactive now makes you reflective. That is not emotional growth alone. That is authority forming. God does not announce elevation before it happens. He initiates it internally first, where no one can interfere. Chosen one. This is why you have felt a growing intolerance for compromise. Things you once tolerated simply to survive now feel impossible to carry. You are no longer willing to bend your integrity for access or silence your discernment for comfort. That shift did not come from pride. It came from preparation. When heaven prepares someone for stewardship, it strengthens their spine before it strengthens their hands. I want you to understand something that most people never see until it is too late. God does not test people with abundance first. He tests them with pressure, delay, and obscurity. Pressure reveals character. Delay exposes motive. Obscurity purifies intention. Only after those tests are complete does provision follow. If wealth came before those seasons, it would amplify what was unhealed rather than fund what was holy. There were nights when you felt misunderstood, even by those closest to you. You knew something was forming, but you could not explain it without sounding unrealistic or strange, so you stayed quiet. That restraint was not weakness, it was wisdom. God often silences the chosen early, not because they have nothing to say, but because timing matters. A word released too early can be trampled, misunderstood, or weaponized against you. I learned this the hard way. I once shared a vision before it had matured in me, and the resistance nearly killed my faith. I had the picture, but not yet the capacity to carry opposition. God later taught me that vision must be incubated in silence before it can survive exposure. That is what He has been doing with you, protecting you from unnecessary battles while strengthening you for the ones that matter. Anointed One, notice how your prayers have changed. You are no longer begging for outcomes. You are asking for alignment. You are no longer demanding speed. You are asking for clarity. This is not spiritual fatigue. This is spiritual maturity. You are beginning to trust that God's timing is not withholding but precise. That trust is essential for what is coming. There is a reason you have been revisiting old memories lately, moments of failure, disappointment, or loss. This is not to reopen wounds. It is to heal blind spots. God does not elevate someone without first reconciling their past internally. Unresolved pain creates unconscious ceilings. You cannot steward future influence while being secretly governed by old fears. I remember realizing that some of my hesitation around expansion was not humility, but unresolved disappointment. I had learned to downplay my expectations to avoid being hurt again. God confronted that in me, not to shame me, but to free me. He showed me that shrinking my faith was not wisdom. It was self-protection masquerading as maturity. Once that was healed, movement returned. Chosen One. Your hesitation is being addressed now. Heaven is restoring your confidence not as arrogance, but as grounded assurance. Confidence rooted in obedience is different from confidence rooted in ego. Ego needs proof. Obedience needs peace. You are learning to move from peace, not pressure. You may also have noticed that certain people have begun to treat you differently. Some draw closer, sensing stability. Others pull away, sensing shift. This is not about popularity. It is about frequency. When God adjusts your internal alignment, external relationships recalibrate automatically. This is not rejection, it is reordering. There is a scripture that speaks about the wealth of the wicked being laid up for the righteous. Many people misunderstand this and think it means sudden transfer without responsibility. But the deeper truth is, this resources eventually migrate towards stewardship. Systems shift, opportunities realign. Influence flows toward those who can manage it without being consumed by it. That is the kind of transfer you are approaching, not sudden chaos, but strategic redirection. Anointed One, what is coming will not arrive loudly. It will arrive cleanly. You will recognize it because it will fit. It will not require you to violate your values. It will not demand you become someone you are not. It will feel weighty, yes, but not suffocating. Challenging, but not chaotic. This is how you know it is heaven-backed. I want to speak directly to the fear you may not have admitted out loud. The fear of misstepping when it finally arrives. The fear of losing what you waited so long for. The fear of not being enough. That fear is normal, but it does not have authority over you. God would not lead you to the edge of this transition without also providing the wisdom to sustain it. I have seen God give instruction right when it was needed, not a moment before. I have watched clarity arrive in real time exactly when a decision had to be made. That is how faith works at this level. You do not get a map, you get a relationship. You do not get control, you get guidance, and you are learning to listen more than ever before. chosen one. The reason your inner life has been so deeply worked on is because influence amplifies everything. Whatever remains unresolved becomes louder under expansion. God has been reducing internal noise so that when your environment expands, your spirit remains steady. That steadiness is your greatest asset. You are not stepping into a season where you must prove your worth. You are stepping into a season where your worth has already been established through obedience. What remains now is alignment, staying teachable, staying surrendered, staying responsive. Do not underestimate the power of small acts in this season. Consistency, integrity, rest, listening. These seem ordinary, but they are forming the framework that will hold extraordinary things. The kingdom is built on foundations, not moments. Chosen one. If you feel a quiet confidence rising beneath the uncertainty, honor it. That is not self-deception. That is recognition. Your spirit knows what is approaching because it has been prepared to receive it. And when the moment comes for what you have long seen in your mind to rest in your hands, it will not feel like a shock. It will feel like a fulfillment that finally makes sense of everything that came before. There is a sacred moment that arrives in every chosen life when resistance begins to fall away, not because opposition disappears, but because authority has taken root. This is that moment for you. You are no longer fighting to be understood, validated, or positioned. Something deeper has settled within you, a knowing that does not need applause, a confidence that does not need permission. This is not pride. This is alignment. Chosen one. Heaven is shifting how things respond to you. Where you once had to explain yourself, now silence speaks. Where you once pushed for access, now doors recognize you. This is not manipulation. This is resonance. When God establishes someone internally, the external world begins to respond accordingly. You do not chase what is assigned to you. It locates you. I have watched this happen in my own life. There was a season when I tried to convince people of my integrity, my capability, my vision. It was exhausting. Then came a season where I stopped defending and started standing. Without effort, the right people began to recognize what I could never persuade them to see before. That shift did not come from strategy. It came from surrender. Anointed one. This is why striving feels foreign to you now. You are not meant to hustle your way into this next level. You are meant to arrive whole. God does not elevate fragmented vessels. He establishes grounded ones. You have been gathered internally so that you can carry weight externally without breaking. Notice how your reactions have changed. You no longer rush to respond to provocation. You pause, you listen, you discern. This is authority. Authority does not react. It responds. That shift is essential for stewardship. When wealth and influence arrive, reaction leads to loss. Response leads to longevity. There is also something else happening. Your sense of identity is no longer tied to outcomes. You are learning to separate who you are from what happens around you. This is one of the most important transitions a chosen one makes. If your identity rises and falls with circumstances, you will never be free enough to steward increase. God is anchoring you in truth so that success does not intoxicate you and failure does not define you. I remember realizing how much of my self-worth had been unconsciously attached to progress. When things moved, I felt confident. When they stalled, I felt small. God dismantled that in me slowly through seasons where progress was invisible. At the time, it felt painful. Later, I understood it was merciful. He was freeing me from slavery to outcomes. Chosen one. This freedom is becoming evident in you. You are less reactive to timelines, less anxious about comparison, less disturbed by delays. That is not apathy. That is stability. Stability is rare and it is expensive. It is purchased through surrender. There are people watching you now who do not understand the depth of what has been happening in you. They may assume you are simply patient or quiet or reserved. They do not see the internal reordering. They do not feel the pressure you have carried or the refining you have endured. That is okay. God does his deepest work in private for a reason. Public exposure without private formation destroys more destinies than failure ever could. Anointed One. I want to speak to the idea of transfer because many misunderstand it. A true kingdom transfer is not random wealth dropping into unprepared hands. It is responsibility shifting toward proven stewardship. It is access aligning with maturity. It is influence being rerouted toward those who will protect what others exploited. This is why God has been watching how you handle small things, how you treat people who cannot advance you, how you respond when no one is watching, how you manage disappointment without becoming bitter. These moments are not overlooked, they are recorded. Heaven keeps detailed accounts not of your achievements, but of your integrity. There were times when it felt like doing the right thing cost you more than it gave you. Times when honesty closed doors instead of opening them. Times when restraint seemed to delay progress. But what you did not see then was that those choices were qualifying you for a different level of trust. God does not entrust large flows to those who leak character under pressure. I have learned that the greatest breakthroughs often follow the most unseen obedience. The moment you chose integrity over advantage, the moment you chose rest over panic, the moment you chose silence over retaliation, those moments shaped you more than any visible success ever could. Chosen One. The weight you are about to carry will require this kind of foundation. What is coming will not be fragile. It will be substantial. It will require wisdom, restraint, and discernment. God is not merely answering prayers. He is appointing stewards. You may feel a growing sense of responsibility even before the resources arrive. That is intentional. Responsibility precedes provision in the kingdom. God often allows you to feel the weight before you receive the means, so that when the means arrive, you already know how to carry them. There have been moments when you felt the urge to simplify your life, to remove unnecessary noise to protect your energy. This is not withdrawal, this is preparation. As influence increases, so does demand. You are learning now how to guard your inner life so that future demands do not overwhelm you. Anointed One, understand this: your value is not in what you produce, but in who you have become. Production will follow identity, not the other way around. God is establishing you in being before He releases you into doing. I have seen people step into opportunity before their inner life was ready and the opportunity consumed them. I have also seen people arrive later, seemingly behind, yet walk in with peace and clarity because their foundation was solid. You are being prepared for the second path, not the first. Chosen One, do not be alarmed if things feel strangely quiet right now. Quiet does not mean stagnation. Quiet often means consolidation. God is bringing elements together. He is aligning, timing people and resources in ways you cannot yet see. When the movement begins, it will feel natural, not forced. Stay attentive, stay grounded, stay surrendered. You are not waiting for permission. You are standing in position, and position once established attracts provision without striving. What you have been seeing in your mind is not a tease, it is a preview. Not of what you will chase, but of what will be entrusted to you when the time is right. There is a subtle shift that happens right before heaven releases what it has been preparing. It is not loud. It does not announce itself with signs and spectacle. It feels more like an internal settling, as if something finally clicks into place. You are not scrambling anymore. You are not reaching. You are simply present. That is not coincidence. That is readiness. Chosen one. Many people mistake excitement for readiness. They think eagerness is proof they are prepared. But heaven looks for something far quieter. It looks for stability. It looks for a spirit that can remain anchored whether the answer arrives today or tomorrow. That anchoring has been forming in you slowly and deliberately through seasons that tested your patience more than your faith. There was a time when waiting made you restless. You questioned everything. You replayed decisions. You wondered if you missed something, if you were behind, if others were passing you by. But notice how different you feel now. The questions have softened. The anxiety has loosened its grip. You still desire what you have seen, but it no longer controls you. That shift is critical. Desire that controls you will eventually control what you receive. Desire that submits to God becomes a vessel for trust. I want to share something personal. There was a moment when I realized I no longer needed constant reassurance that things would work out. I still wanted clarity, yes, but I was no longer desperate for it. That was the moment I knew something had changed. Not externally, but internally. I had crossed from striving into stewardship without realizing it. That is where you are now, anointed one. This is why heaven has been quiet lately. Silence is not absence. Silence is confirmation when you have learned to listen. God does not keep speaking the same instruction once obedience has taken root. He trusts you to carry what you have already been given, and trust is the currency of the next level. You may have noticed that your prayers feel different. You are not listing demands. You are aligning your heart. You are asking fewer questions and offering more surrender. That posture is powerful. Scripture speaks of those who walk by faith and not by sight, but faith at this level is not blind hope. It is informed trust built through experience. You have seen God sustain you before. You have watched doors close that later revealed themselves as protection. You have lived long enough to recognize patterns of grace in your own life. That history matters. Heaven takes into account not just who you are now, but how you arrived here. Every season where you chose obedience over convenience strengthened your spiritual muscle. Every time you stayed when leaving would have been easier, anchored you more deeply. Those moments were not wasted. They were cumulative. Chosen one. There is also a humility forming in you that cannot be faked. You no longer feel the need to broadcast your growth. You no longer crave validation for your discipline. You have learned that the most meaningful changes happen quietly. That humility will protect you when influence expands. It will keep you teachable. It will keep you listening. I have seen what happens when humility is missing. People rise quickly and fall just as fast because they believe their success proves their superiority. But true kingdom elevation never isolates you above others. It positions you to serve without being depleted. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking clearly about your role in something larger than you. Anointed one. The weight you are about to carry will require collaboration, not isolation. God has been preparing you to recognize partnerships that are aligned rather than impressive. You are learning to discern substance over appearance. That discernment will save you from costly entanglements later. There have been moments recently where you felt prompted to say no without fully understanding why. Opportunities that looked good sounded right, but felt off. Saying no may have felt risky, even foolish, but your spirit insisted. That obedience matters more than you know. Every no that honored discernment made room for a yes that will not require compromise. I want you to understand something clearly. Heaven does not reward speed, it rewards alignment. Many people arrive early and spend years trying to stabilize what they rushed into. You are arriving prepared. Prepared does not mean fearless, it means grounded. You can acknowledge uncertainty without being ruled by it. Chosen one. The fear of losing what you receive has been addressed in you. That fear no longer has authority. You have learned that your security is not in resources, but in relationship. You know now that what God releases can also be sustained by God. That realization frees you to receive without clinging. There is also a generosity awakening in you that is not driven by guilt or image. It comes from abundance of spirit, not abundance of possession. You have learned to give time, attention, and grace, even when resources felt limited. That is why heaven trusts you with more. Those who are faithful with little are not just faithful with money, they are faithful with spirit. Anointed one, your perspective on wealth itself has matured. You no longer see it as escape, you see it as responsibility. You no longer fantasize about what it will give you. You think about what it will require of you. That shift is rare. It is also essential. Wealth magnifies whatever is already present. God has been ensuring that what is present in you can withstand that magnification. There is a calm expectancy growing in you now. Not impatience, expectancy. It feels like standing at the edge of something without leaning forward. You are balanced. That balance will allow you to move when the signal comes without hesitation or panic. I have learned that the clearest confirmations often arrive after the internal work is complete, not before. God does not rush to reassure those who still need reassurance to act. He reassures those who are already willing to move in trust. That is why things are beginning to line up subtly around you. Conversations, insights, small confirmations that feel too precise to be random. Chosen one, pay attention to those small confirmations. They are not meant to excite you, they are meant to orient you. Heaven is guiding you into position gently so that when the moment arrives, you are already standing where you need to be. You may not see the full picture yet, and that is intentional. Full clarity too early can create attachment to outcomes instead of obedience to process. God reveals what you need when you need it, and you have learned to trust that rhythm. There is nothing missing in you right now, nothing unfinished that would disqualify you. Growth will continue, yes, but not because you are lacking, because stewardship is ongoing. The fact that you are still teachable is a sign of health, not deficiency. Remain grounded, remain attentive, remain surrendered. You are not waiting for heaven to notice you. Heaven has been watching you closely all along. What you have been seeing in your mind is nearing its moment of transfer, not because you demanded it, but because you have been shaped to carry it without losing yourself in the process. Hold your posture. Stay aligned. The stillness you feel is not the absence of movement. It is the pause before responsibility is placed into hands that are finally steady enough to receive it. There is a moment when heaven stops shaping and begins releasing. Not because you have reached perfection, but because you have reached stability. That moment does not feel dramatic. It feels grounded. It feels calm. It feels like standing firmly where you once would have wavered. This is where you are now, and this is why what comes next will not overwhelm you the way you once feared it might. Chosen one, you have crossed an internal threshold. The version of you that needed constant reassurance, visible signs, or external validation has quietly fallen away. In its place stands someone who can carry weight without needing to announce it. That is the version heaven entrusts. God does not release responsibility to those who crave recognition. He releases it to those who can remain faithful when recognition fades into the background. Think back to who you were at the beginning of this journey, how reactive you were, how deeply every delay cut, how personal every closed door felt. Now compare that to who you are today. You still feel disappointment, but it no longer derails you. You still notice resistance, but it no longer defines you. That change did not come from time alone. It came from surrender layered over experience. Anointed One. This is why you are not frantic even though things are moving. You are alert but not anxious, expectant but not desperate. That posture is rare, and it is powerful. Heaven responds to stability because stability can sustain what chaos would destroy. There is a truth you must understand at this level. Provision follows posture, not effort, not noise, not performance. Posture. The way you hold yourself internally determines what can rest on you externally. You have been trained to hold without gripping, to receive without clinging, to lead without dominating. These are not natural instincts. They are cultivated through obedience. I want to speak to the idea of holding it in your hand, because this is where many misunderstand the process. Holding does not mean owning in the way the world defines ownership. It means stewarding with awareness. It means recognizing that what rests in your hand flows through you, not from you. That understanding protects you from arrogance and from fear. I remember the first time I realized that something had shifted from pursuit to responsibility. It was subtle. I noticed I was no longer asking, "How do I get this?" I was asking, "How do I handle this well?" That question alone told me I had entered a different season. You are asking different questions now too. Questions rooted in care, not craving. Chosen. 1. This is also why your prayer life feels quieter but deeper. You are not filling silence with words. You are listening. You are sensing. You are allowing God to guide your steps without needing to explain every detail in advance. That level of trust is not naive, it is earned. There are still unknowns ahead of you. That will not change. But unknowns no longer threaten your peace. You have learned that peace does not come from certainty, but from alignment. When you are aligned, even uncertainty becomes navigable. Anointed One, the wealth shift you are approaching will not arrive as chaos or shock. It will arrive as clarity. It will come with responsibility that feels familiar, not foreign. That is because God has already allowed you to practice holding weight in unseen ways. Emotional weight, moral weight, spiritual weight. Financial weight is simply another layer. You have learned to manage disappointment without becoming bitter. You have learned to carry vision without demanding speed. You have learned to wait without losing faith. These are the skills that matter. Money amplifies what is already present. Because patience has been present, patience will be amplified. Because humility has been present, humility will be amplified. Chosen One, notice how you now respond to the idea of abundance. It no longer excites you recklessly, it sobers you. That sobriety is not fear, it is respect. You understand now that abundance carries consequence. That understanding protects you. I have seen people collapse under the weight of what they prayed for because they did not respect it. They saw money as freedom, not responsibility. Influence as validation, not service. God has been sparing you from that outcome by reshaping your expectations. There may still be moments when you wonder if you are truly ready. That question does not disqualify you. It qualifies you. The unready assume readiness. The ready remain aware of their dependence on God. Dependence does not weaken you, it anchors you. Anointed One, you are not stepping into a season where you will be left to figure things out alone. Guidance will come as needed. Wisdom will surface at the moment of decision. Provision will align with obedience. This is how the kingdom operates, step by step. Daily bread, sufficient grace. You have also learned to release comparison. You no longer measure your progress against others. You understand now that different callings require different timelines. Comparison once drained you. Now it holds no power. That freedom will allow you to collaborate without competition and lead without insecurity. Chosen one. There is a humility in you now that does not shrink you. It stabilizes you. You can acknowledge your capacity without exaggeration. You can recognize your limitations without shame. That balance is rare, and it is essential. As this season unfolds, remember that stewardship is ongoing. What you receive will require attention, care, and continued surrender. There is no arrival point where dependence ends. Growth does not stop when provision increases. It deepens. Stay attentive to your inner life. Guard your peace. Protect your discernment. Do not rush to speak before listening. Do not rush to move before sensing. These practices are not restrictions. They are safeguards. Chosen one. What you once only saw in your mind has prepared you, not teased you. It trained your sight. It expanded your capacity. It refined your motives. Now, when it begins to rest in your hands, it will not change who you are. It will reveal who you have become. Hold steady. Remain surrendered. Walk forward with the quiet confidence that comes from alignment, not ego. You are not stepping into something foreign. You are stepping into what you were shaped to carry. And as you do, remember this: heaven does not entrust what it has not first prepared you to hold. Chosen one, as this moment comes to rest, let your spirit be still and receive what has already been set in motion. You are not standing at the edge of uncertainty. You are standing in kairos, time, the precise moment heaven appointed long before you knew to ask. What you have carried in your mind has not been imagination. It has been preparation, and what God prepares, He also releases. Anointed one, I declare over you that the weight you have endured has not been in vain. The alignment you have guarded has not been unnoticed. Even now, a supernatural transfer is unfolding quietly, orderly, and with divine precision. Doors are responding. Resources are locating you. Authority is settling into your hands with peace, not pressure. Remain faithful. Stay aligned. Do not rush what heaven is unfolding with perfection. Walk forward with gratitude, knowing that what is coming will fit you because you were shaped for it. Let your heart stay surrendered, your spirit attentive, and your hands open to steward what God entrusts. If this word resonated in your spirit, stay connected to this space of alignment. Subscribe to remain under this flow, and as an act of agreement, comment your city below a quiet declaration that you are ready to receive what heaven has prepared. Go in peace, chosen one. What you once saw, you are now ready to hold.